Hello, welcome to the bureau in the bedroom. My name is Brooke. I'm going to do a short shoulder practice, something to give us more space here. So hopefully it can articulate down through our elbows, wrists, hands, and just give us a sense of more width and space, not only in our chest, shoulders in the front, but also some width and space to match in the back, the width of our scapula, the width of our upper back, which is so essential to not only feel good up here in the upper body, but also it travels down to the lower body. So most likely, if you're really tight in the lower body, if you spend some time, open up your shoulders, open up your upper back, you're gonna have an immediate effect in your lower back. So let's experiment with that right now. So I'm gonna start, I'm just kneeling on my shin bones, nice and easy here, and I'm just gonna draw my elbows up on the inhale and down on the exhale. Just to gently move the scapula up and down. And I think the bottom tips of the shoulder blades wing out as my elbows lift up, and the bottom tips of my shoulder blades pull back together at the center of my heart as my elbows lower. One more time, in and then out. And then I'm gonna move my elbows directly out to the sides of my chest here. And I'm trying to energetically reach my elbows wide, lengthen the neck, no tension in my neck here. And then I'm going to draw my elbows together, feel the whole scapula, the whole blade pull away from the midline of my spine. And I can also draw the elbow tips forward and draw my throat, sternum back to increase more width between my scapula. This is like a cat back here. Think of rounding your upper back even, navel to spine a little bit. And then as my arms open back out to their own two sides, I can push back a little bit and feel the scapula draw toward the midline of my spine. And notice there's not much space between my scapula now, but I'm finding more width across my chest. So the two extremes there. So broadening the scapula away from the midline of the spine and then drawing them toward the midline. Sort of like a cat-cow almost. And you can take this into a cat-cow, the whole spine here. I'm just gonna go 3 more times. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling, and inhaling and exhaling. And just how we want neutral in the pelvis, we sort of want to sense neutral in the shoulders. So again, I'm just not going to go way up here. I'm not going to go way down low. I'm going to find somewhere in the middle. I don't want to go way forward here. I don't want to go way back here. I want to find that space to match the front into the back and the back into the front. And sort of feel my shoulders sort of finding a nice place, a nice home to nestle into the back of the ribs where they're connected, but they're not gripping. There's some space. And then keeping that, I'm just gonna do these little circles here. And I'm gonna just work small circles to start. My hands are holding on to the heads of my arm bones here and my shoulders. And I want to keep sensing the head of my arm bones drawing into the back of the scapula, whatever that means for you. We all have different shapes and sizes here. So just notice how it feels for you. Can you sense the head of the arm bone drawing into the shoulder socket, that ball and socket joint? And just sort of give a little massage here, like leg circles when we're on the mat, massaging our thigh bones and our hips. And I'm not trying to keep my body totally still, but I'm trying to maintain some sense of stability in my posture. My head is floating, my spine is long. And I'm gonna go through just 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna reverse those little circles and just bring some little movement. And as I do these circles, I try to keep creating width and space between my shoulders by reaching elbows energetically apart from one another. And then go 3 and 2 and 1, and then gently relax that. So that's a nice way to sort of bring some blood flow, some circulation into those shoulders. Now, as you see here, I'm just doing some alternate shoulder circles. Each shoulder has a turn here to lift up, back, and down. And just noticing what I feel in my low back here as well. I'm going to reverse that. Shoulders forward, more cat-like position. Good. Exhale, shoulders up, back and down. Now I'm going to take some traditional stretches that are just fantastic First, I'm gonna draw my elbows, shoulders broad on my back. Draw my throat back, neck is long. Inhale here. Exhale, stack my right elbow on top of my left. And turn my profile to you. And then if you can also intertwine forearms, wrists, and then palms touch at the top. If that doesn't work for you, you can just go here, you can just go here. And with a tall spine, I'm gonna inhale, reach my elbow tips forward and up. As I reach my elbow tips forward and up, I focus on drawing my head, throat, waist, ribs back. And then again, inhale forward and up, head, throat, sternum, ribs back. Really opening up the width of my back. One more time. And then I'm going to keep the lift of my spine and draw my elbows down to my navel, hug my belly into my spine, and just keep floating my neck and head. Elbows down, shoulders down, neck is long. Feel a nice stretch in my traps. And then maintaining that pull down, I'm going to press my left hand into my right hand and draw my left ear, to my left shoulder. And I'm intensifying the stretch down the right side of my neck. Breathe a couple breaths here. You can maybe turn your gaze down. Notice the difference of the stretch in the neck. Maybe turn your gaze up, lifting your chin a bit. Notice the difference. Notice what feels good on you. And then return to center. I'm going to let that go. Our elbows wide again to their own two sides. Spreading, widening, neck is long. And then exhale, left elbow on top. Turn my profile to you. And again, I'm going to squeeze forearms, wrists, hands together. And inhale, reach my elbow tips forward and up as I draw my head, my throat, my ribs back. Really open up the width of my back. It can get so tight there, especially if you're a doer like me, always doing stuff with my hands. And we're all sort of doers nowadays with our phones because we're using our hands so much, holding those phones, texting, whatever it may be. I like to make bread. I'm always cooking, so I'm always using my hands. A 5-year-old, she just turned 5 today, and I'm always doing something with her. Okay, now I'm going to draw the elbows down, and I'm going to really shrug the shoulders down, lengthen my neck tall. Right hand to left hand, that feels better. And take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, take a deep breath in, deep breath out. You can even gaze down, you can even gaze up. Just notice this different sensations. This side is not as nearly as tight as my right side. I'm going to come back to center and let that go. I'm going to come back up here, now not holding here, but reaching through my elbow tips, lengthening through my palms, fingertips, and I'm going to do an external rotation and internal rotation, keeping my forearm, wrist, hands fairly stable. I'm just feeling that rotation of my arm bone in my shoulder socket now, keeping my upper arm fairly stable. It's just inward rotating, outward rotating. And as I'm here, I feel the tips of the blades lift the back of my heart, to lift my gaze like cow. And if I'm here, I feel more my tips of the blades lifting, rounding off my back, and even bow my chin to my chest, think more cat. But I'm just going to keep my upper spine stable and just notice the sensations in my shoulder girdle here. Now I'm going to come back to neutral. I'm going to internally rotate left, externally rotate right, and change. Inhale, exhale. And you can keep your head steady, or maybe, just maybe, you can turn face, look at the arm that's externally rotating, drawing the opposing shoulder back, and switch twice more. Long, strong, stable neck. Keep working the shoulder heads back, collarbone wide, width in my back. And I'm going to pause here, switch my arms, and I'm looking towards the arm that's internally rotating. Both shoulder heads are back, and switch. Just for 3, neck is long, 2, and 1. Going back here, and then coming back to neutral. Stretch up, and let it go. Stretch up, and let it go. Okay, coming back to neutral, shoulders back, width in my back, width in my front, and that sense of connection in that width. Neck is long. I'm going to go back to my external rotation of my left arm, and I'm going to come back to my internal here in a second. But keeping that external rotation, I'm going to grab my elbow and take a tricep stretch. And here, I'm going to think of drawing the whole shoulder scapula on my back and firming into the midline. And as I breathe my chest open here, just nestling that shoulder on my back, I have to keep the space by drawing the ribs in a little bit. So it's that balance between that cow-cat, if you will, to find neutral. Taking deep breaths, and then I can come back here. I can internally rotate this arm. The arm that's down is internally rotate. Draw that shoulder back, and maybe catch my top left hand, and nestle the right shoulder on my back. So it's not just about holding the hands. It's about, can you feel the two shoulder blades themselves nestled in your back, sustaining some sense of space and width, not only in the back, but also the front. Breathe in, breathe out. One more full breath in. Exhale, full breath out. Reaching up, reaching down, creating width. Holding my neutral in my upper body. And then let that go. Slide your hands apart. Ooh, it's a lot of work. So good. Such good medicine for your shoulders, upper body, even lower body, done consistently. I'm back here. I'm going to externally rotate here. I'll be back here in a second. Keep that external rotation, shoulder back. I'm going to grab my elbow to help me. Again, I'm really prioritizing the shoulder in and back, hollow armpit. I'm reaching up my chest, but I'm also countering that connection in my waistline, almost like that cat, to maintain some width and space in my back. If I just lift my chest all day long without the support down here, I'm pulling myself out of that balanced position, that neutral position in my upper body. I need the strength to support the opening, the width, the chest opening. One more breath. Then I'm going to reach my left arm out to the side, shoulder back, find my internal rotation, and reach up. This side is not nearly as tight as my other side. And again, deep breath. Both shoulders nestled on my ribs with space, with the balance between my front and back bodies. Using my exhale, so gently hug to my midline, grow my spine taller, reaching up, reaching down. One more breath. Feeling my two shoulders. Exhale. Good. And I'm going to gently let that go. Whew. That feels good. Now to continue, I'm just going to come onto all fours. Okay, so coming to all fours, and if it works for you, turn your hands either to the side or fingers face back, and claw with your fingertips, careful not to hyperextend your elbows, and again, sense the external rotation, the width in your collarbone. And keeping that width, I'm going to push my hands down and create width between my scapula, really lift my throat, my sternum, even belly to back a little bit, pushing the shin bones down, and then soften. And then again, push away, broaden, expand, open my upper back, using the support, the strength of my waist, and then soften. And then I'm going to add a cat. I'm going to push, lift, shins, hands root down, and then tailbone curls down, release my head, open my back, and then come back center and soften, cow. Again, sense neutral, shoulder blades on my back, collarbones wide. Find a little more strength as I push down, shins and hands, round my back, lift my waist, release my head, keep spreading your hands apart, create width, and then exhale, soften into a cow. So we'll just move for 3 more times. We'll push. So we're feeling the extremes here. Keeping the collarbone wide, If you can't turn your palms, then you just keep externally rotating bicep to tricep, keeping your fingers facing forward. One more time, push the 4, lift the middle, and then find your cow. Now find your balance in your shoulders. Find that ability to push but also soften a bit. Wide chest, long neck, lift your waistline. Take one full breath here. And then gently come out of that. So there's so much more I could do, but I'm going to end the practice with that today. Have a beautiful day, and in honor of beautiful, big, wide shoulders, create space for your heart to beat and love and enjoy life. Have a wonderful day. Bye.